Hello, welcome, Scissorboy.com, of course, where else? My name's Andriana and I'm joined by the very lovely Nergish. Nergish, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good, thank you for joining us. Now, I'm fascinated and I can't wait for you to tell us all about exactly what you do and just tell everyone out there what you do. Of course, a company called PHAB.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
It is the first ever performance-based standard in the hair, beauty and nail industry, and we're launching it here in the UK.
Right.
Basically, it is a performance-based standard. We wish to join up creative standards. So in British hairdressing, we've had creative standards reach a peak, as far as I'm concerned, but customer service standards have been left behind somewhat.
Right, yes.
And I feel the two need to catch up. And by bringing the attention back to customer care, we want business performance and customer care via professional consultations to be the reason why people in our industry are being rewarded.
Right.
And that has not happened in the past. And that's what PHAB is setting out to do. Not just in hairdressing, but in beauty and nails as well.
Yes, no, that's great. You've covered a few areas there, which obviously don't get that. So putting it in basic terms, it's like, and you described this on your bio, it's like a Michelin star for a restaurant.
It
so
is
people have an
indeed.
idea of where they sit.
Basically, when the consumer goes to look for a hairdresser or a beauty therapist or a nail technician, she wants to know that when she sits in the chair, pretty much in the UK, she is almost always guaranteed a good technical haircut, a good technical facial, a good technical nail service. What she is not guaranteed is whether that's what she wanted.
Yeah, right.
And I think for a consumer to be able to understand that, yes, I am booking for a haircut, but is this person going to listen to my needs? And that's where the PHAB standard is going to guide them.
Right.
And so far, there has been no such standard. I mean, the thing to remember with PHAB is it has been designed with industry experts' opinions. It has been designed by me. I've been in the industry for over 30 years.
Okay.
I do have to say that when a consumer looks at a salon, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
How does she know that someone's going to listen to her needs? Well, the PHAB standard in the doorway will tell her.
Right.
Then she'll come in and basically she'll look at certificates and she'll see there are at least 20% of the staff on a PHAB standard. In the past, it has been difficult to distinguish between a good stylist and a great stylist. And what does make a great stylist? Well, if the customer's needs are met, that's a great stylist.
Yes.
From a consumer's point of view. For a stylist, a beauty therapist, a colorist, a nail technician, it provides a career progression. So they can say, I was a bronze PHAB stylist, I have now achieved a gold standard. Of course, PHAB is not static. It's going to go out and develop right now the platinum and the diamond standards.
Right.
And so a lot is involved. So they have to jump over hurdles. It won't be static because next year, when industry standards have risen to get to those levels, PHAB rises again and asks the industry to meet up. So it's a rare standard and it's been removed from anyone's hands. The numbers are digested by the computer and are set by our non-executive board of governors. And those people set those standards, basically. So the industry dictates what the standard should be. It's the first of its kind.
It's interesting, yeah, because it's always making sure that they get better and better.
Correct.
So there's no excuse and there's no way they can just rest on their laurels, in essence.
Engineering has it. Lawyers have it. We are the only industry that do not look at our business capabilities.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many times we say it, creativity cannot exist without business performance. In order to be creative, you need the budgets. The budgets come from a business performance. So if your salons aren't performing, How on earth do you go out and get the money to do a recording of something, or a film shoot, or a photo shoot?
Yeah.
The budgets have to exist.
Yeah.
And so
I suppose it makes sense. And then the more I talk to more and more hairdressers and salons, it's very apparent that because hairstylists are creative and that's their baby, that's their passion, they don't want to have to deal with the other thing, and maybe that's why they're so behind on
Actually,
that.
I have to say you are so right in what you're saying. A lot of the issues in management today in salons is that the manager becomes very passionate about his business, and he often can't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah.
I have a saying, gut instinct, not based in fact, is often just indigestion. I have to say,
I like that.
if you do not deal in facts and figures, and I actually want to encourage the professionals in our industry not to rely solely on their bosses to go out and develop their columns. We have it in us to run our columns as a business. And if we run our columns as a business, the manager becomes a side issue. His help is welcomed, but often not even necessary. If you go out there and run your column as a business, your manager becomes incidental. He is there to help you. He provides a beautiful environment like the one we're sitting in right now. He's provided all the environment for you and all of that. The rest of the job relies on a stylist. To qualify for a PHAB standard, basically, you have to have run a productive column for at least 2 years. That gives you your experience. You have to be able to report, on average, how many customers you see per day, how many of those customers are repeating to your column, as in returning to your column and asking for you by name, and how many of those customers are buying home care from you. The combination of that report of numbers tells us a story about what you're doing to those customers in your column. Then you have to provide us with customer testimonials, and I believe there are some verification processes in place which we tend not to discuss because we don't like people to know how we verify things, except for the fact that we will call and ask your manager. We will call and check with your manufacturers when a salon is applying. Once 20% of a salon's staff, productive staff, are on a PHAB standard, the salon can then apply for a PHAB standard.
Okay.
So without PHAB staff, a salon cannot be PHAB.
Right, so it first of all falls on the staff.
On the individuals and the professionals in our industry. So it benefits the professional, it benefits the salon, and it benefits the consumer.
You're just basically saying we need more quality. That's it.
And it has to be monitored. Someone has got to be the policeman. And I decided, rightly or wrongly,
You're going to be the policeman, eh?
I'm hoping to
take
be that
those shots as
policeman.
well. Well, do you know what? I admire you and the passion you have.
Well, it has to be done.
Yeah.
I think we're a fantastic industry.
Definitely.
I have so much respect worldwide. You know, I've been training overseas for years in Canada.
about that, yeah.
Basically, if I was to tell you a little bit about what I did so that you understood why I went ahead with this. I started out as a hairdresser with Vidal Sassoon in the Far East in Hong Kong. I did a lot of their training for them technically. In between there, I basically went to a French beauty institute and qualified as a beauty therapist.
Right.
I am a rubbish beauty therapist, I assure you. No one ever wants their legs waxed by me, but I do.
Do you make it extra painful?
I basically ran that business in the Far East. Moved to moved to the UK. When I was 25, I ran at the time the largest salon in the world at Harrods.
Right.
And it was really hard. I was asked to go outside of the industry to do my business management training because no one trains hairdressers to have their business skills in place before they bother to open up a shop.
That's their biggest problem. Yeah, it's their biggest problem.
Just because I'm a busy stylist doesn't mean I can teach 5 other people how to be busy.
Yeah.
I have to have those business skills.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say to you is that in hair and beauty, we are extremely fast learners. You teach us something, we're off like a shot, and we do it properly.
Yeah.
It's just that we aren't given those skills. You teach a hairdresser how to run their column, I'm telling you, it takes off like a rocket does.
Imagine.
It's phenomenal. When we know something works for us, we don't waste time. We just in there like a shot.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this, and I know that's how Fab will take off. Once they know it works for them, it'll be channeled through, I'm sure of it. I then moved to Canada, where I married a Canadian, and I went outside the hair and beauty world, and I worked for a department store group called Holt Renfrew. And in Canada, that's the equivalent of the Harrods of Canada.
Yeah.
And there I learnt a lot about retail. And I think the shocking thing for me, managing a cosmetics hall there, which is managing retail, properly managing retail, was that every time a cosmetics hall wanted to sell out of their stand, they had to go borrow from service and bring service back to the counter in order to sell retail. And it was in that moment that the clarity came to me, and I thought, well, we have service in our salons. That's what we do. Why don't we sell out of retail? It's because we don't believe that's part of our job, and it absolutely is. Selling is not our job, but making sure our customers' problems were solved is our job.
Right.
And that's the difference. It's not about selling per se. It's about making sure when you go to the doctor, his job is to write out a prescription. His job is not to take the cream and apply it to your rash. It is that he has to tell you what to apply at home. That is his job, as it is ours. We believe the hair must look good when the person walks out of the business, but it isn't. She still continues to do her hair
She needs,
for the following 6 weeks.
Yep.
She has to be equipped to do it at home, or else you are short-changing her.
Yeah. Well, the easier it is for them, again, they're going to come back.
Yeah, but if they're satisfied, they will look no further.
Yes.
If their needs are dealt with here, and it is not okay to do half a job. And right now we're very skilled at doing half a job. I'm just saying, go the whole distance and complete it, you know?
Well, I have to say, I look forward to seeing more and more of you, and thank you for talking with us.
Well,
It's
thank
been
you for taking the
amazing.
time.
It really, really has, and thank you.
Thank you. It was
Now,
a
are
pleasure.
you ready?
I certainly am.
Okay. Snip,
Snip,
snip.
If there is a hairdresser out there that wants to be like one of you in this room, if they can't do it with creativity, at the very least they can say, hey, but I'm quite like my icon, because if he's got a FAB standard, I'm going to improve my customer service. So it's from that point of view that we're coming at it.
So just to share some results with you, from that period, I'm talking about November now, we have increased our retail sales from 9% to 22% in that period, from 9 to 22%. Our average bill has gone, on average, gone up £10 per client per visit in the last month. We look after about 1,200 to 1,400 clients a month. So I'll let you do the figures. You know? I'm looking forward to receiving our salon standards. We've got 2 girls who've just achieved the standard. We can now apply for it as a salon. And I just think it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal piece. If our industry was a puzzle, then yeah, this is the jigsaw piece that is missing. So, you know, I can't stress it enough.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you.